Hello, Living Waters. So you may have guessed, we've had two of the minor prophets already, and we're going to have a third before moving to the New Testament for the last two videos this week. Because we have more in the Old Testament that we haven't used, and I know Obadiah and Ezra, or not Ezra, we did use Ezra, Obadiah and oh my goodness, what was the video we did yesterday? Nahum, Rise of Doom, of course. We continue with another minor prophet who also has an oracle against Edom, but thankfully there's more. It's the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi, actually. Malachi. Fun name. This one, actually, I probably could have found a way, maybe? Actually, I'm kind of kicking myself because it would have been last week with Holy Week, really, if I didn't fit the theme. But anyway, neither here nor there. This is a book that it's post-exilic, which means it is after the exile. The people have returned. The second temple period has begun. It was rebuilt, as we heard in some, as we covered a couple weeks ago in other late Testament or late period prophets. So they did rebuild that temple, and now Malachi's kind of, this is again the last book of the Old Testament. It's kind of funny. We had the story of God's people. Really, you could start even before the Exodus, but I would start with the Exodus, right? God does this great thing, frees them. They struggle to stay faithful. It goes back and forth. They mess up. There's consequences to his actions. God forgives them. Start again, and then we have it with the judges and then the kings. It happens again and again. The people don't listen. The prophets get sent. They kill the prophets. Eventually, their chickens come home to roost. So here we go. God has brought the people back from exile. They have new life yet again. Guess what the message of Malachi is? We're already blowing it, people. Malachi, so we have a guess. We get another shot on Edom because we still hate Edom, apparently. It's like Packers-Bear rivalry, there's still a lot there. We have a little more respect than Israel and Edom did, but anyway. Go back up. We also have oracle basically against the religious leaders, the priests, or, today it'd be pastors, but back then, priests, temple authorities, that, hey, you guys are already corrupting the system, and we just restarted it again, and, we're about a generation in from when this was built. We're already taking bigger cuts of the offerings, and corrupting the law, and not teaching according to God's will, and, we're already cutting corners as a society. We're falling for the same mistakes that we made under the kings, under the judges, and we had the prophets sent us out in the wilderness, and we still got it wrong. It's happening again! Oh, disaster. And it actually kind of sets up nicely for the New Testament, right? Because by the time Jesus comes along, this is still Second Temple period Judaism. Of course, they've been conquered by Rome at this point. When Jesus comes along, but the charges that Jesus makes against the system, thus why he overturns the temple, gets the whip going, and why Jesus does his ministry out by the River Jordan with John the Baptist, away from the temple, showing that God's authority is not just in the temple, but God's authority is in all places. It begins here in Malachi. That God is more than just a temple. God is more than just a building. Hello, people, living waters. God is more than just a building, right? We've been out of our building for a year now. Well, that lesson. And then, yes, these charges that Jesus has about the temple system corrupting God's will, misusing the law, not for grace, but for shame alone. Not for reform and new life, but rather for extortion. This begins here in Malachi. Jesus will actually quote Malachi a couple times, which is not a big book, so a couple chapters, 4 or 5, I don't know, double check that, but it's a shorter book, and Jesus actually draws from it quite a bit in his ministry. I think as well what we can learn from Malachi is that God is great. Again and again and again and again, humanity makes mistakes. Humanity falls for the same traps, the idols, the power, the riches, the not taking care and loving our neighbors and God, the same thing over and over and over. And again into the New Testament. This is the last book of the Old Testament, into the New Testament, right? God came to earth even after God sent Malachi to tell the people, please stop, let's fix this. We were doing so great. We finally got our new life again, and we're blowing it again. God still came to earth as Jesus Christ. God still, knowing that Malachi was not received well, spoiler alert, the prophets usually are never received well. People don't like change. Can you believe that? God still chose to go to the cross for us. God still chose to love us and give us yet another chance. And another one. And another one. And another one. I'd say that's what we can take out of Malachi. All right. 3 minor prophets in. Now, tomorrow, we're going to the New Testament, and we're going to talk about late epistles for our last 2. They're actually right next to each other, so it gives you a hint of maybe where we're going.